What's up, everyone? It's your boy Reckless Fox, and rocking me today for tonight's review of Iron Fist is my boy, my brother, Mr. Gotcha15. Take it away.
Hey, yo, what it do? This is your boy Gotcha15. God bless y'all.
Alrighty then, and tonight we're gonna be reviewing Iron Fist, because I finally got the chance to finish it, and
Finally.
whatever. I never got the chance to. I was gonna review it back in March, but the Power Rangers movie came out and everything like that. For those of y'all who are watching this live on Twitch, I will also be doing a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. For those of y'all who are watching or listening to this on YouTube, there will be a part 2, which is my review of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, because unfortunately, at the time of this recording, Gotcha15 has not seen the movie, nor has he not seen the first one, but I will bring him a new one after this video is over. So, Iron Fist, let's get right into it. Before I do it, GC, give me your first impressions. What were your impressions of the show, and did you like the show overall? And we'll get into our positives and negatives, and what the show can improve on for season 2, because we already know there's going to be a season 2. So first, what did you like the show?
Overall, I liked the show until I got to the ending.
Okay. All right, cool. For me, I enjoy. For those, I've told you guys before, Iron Fist is my favorite underrated character in all comic books. I feel as if he does not get a lot of love because, you know, in this political climate we're in, like, at the time in which Iron Fist was written, it was amazing, because, like, Asian culture was finally coming into the States and everything like that, which is the reason why people love Chuck Norris so much, even though I find him personally overrated, but that's a different story. But overall, for me, for Iron Fist, I thought the show was alright. I think the show picked up a lot more towards the end of the show. Around episode 8, I think that's when it finally found its footing and stuff like that. And we'll actually get into our likes and dislikes about the show. So, GC, we'll start with the positives first. Alright, so GC, what did you like about the show?
Overall, just the plot, just like, just pretty much, a good story. Just like, you got an average, basically rich kid who has heir to most, like, his father's company, and just a simple family vacation, and something always go wrong, where, like, a family tragedy, kind of like similar to Loki, like, Batman, his upbringing, but a little different. But just overall, everything, just as in, it kind of lost me, at the beginning, where he basically just, after like 10 or 15 years, he just showed up, basically out of nowhere, but just basically coming in just to prove himself, which sucks or whatever, because the whole world just accepted the death of his family, including him or whatever, and just, a random stranger just come in saying, like, I'm Danny Rand. And they're gonna look at you crazy, but just through that process of proving himself by his quote unquote loved ones, and also his peers as well, and basically revealing, like, a different side to him, where this inner strength and this inner power that he has and his purpose of returning is just quite liberating and really awesome.
Okay. What did you think about the main cast and the supporting cast and stuff like that?
As in the main cast, main actor, Danny
Jones. The guy who plays Danny Rand's Finn Jones, who just finished Game of Thrones. We won't do any Game of Thrones discussions yet, but he was in recent seasons of Game of Thrones. He was Marguerite Tyrell's cousin, the gay one. But yeah.
So far, he did an excellent job, just as in where you basically come back as a totally different character, basically, just like, if any person just, like, go through a traumatic experience just like that, and to come back a totally different person, where you got so much peace and focus, where you just basically focus on the monks are where the training basically comes in of attacking towards the enemy, but just as in interacting with supporting characters, he's been doing a pretty good job.
For me, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed aspects of the show. Again, I thought the show was all right, and I'll get into my gripes about it and stuff like that. My whole thing is, I do think Finn Jones did do a good job with the material they gave him and stuff like that. I think that some of the characters were pretty cool. Like, I think the supporting, for me, I think is what I really enjoyed about the show was the supporting cast. Because I feel as if there was a lot of controversy about this show, which I'll get into that when we talk about the dislikes about the show. But
please.
There was so much controversy to this show that it hurt my head. Like, I couldn't even go on my Facebook, my personal Facebook or Twitter, for likelihood, without people complaining about various things about the show, and the show isn't even out yet and stuff like that. So other than that, I do think he did a good job with the source material he was with the material he was given. I think Rosario Dawson, who is my bae and my everything, I think she does a fantastic job as Claire, because Claire is Phil Coulson of the Marvel Netflix universe, and we'll get into the reason why I say that later. I think the girl who plays Colleen Wing, I think she does an amazing job. I think she's a very interesting character to the that was brought into the show. I really enjoyed the guy who played Harold. I think some of the fight scenes were pretty well shot and stuff like that, considering the fact that Finn Jones is not a a martial arts expert.
But done a pretty good job though.
He did a pretty good job. Well, and it's called film editing. You got edit in certain angles to make it look good. And overall, I do think the effects to the show were really, really good, especially the final episode where he punches the ground and like the entire building shakes. And because if there's one thing I was waiting for the entire time, I was like, okay, I'm sick of you punching like little things. I want you to punch something for real, not for play. And when he did that, I screamed. I'm like, oh, finally, you do this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for you to punch something this hardcore, and you did it. Thank you. I do think that I overall enjoyed the villain of the show, Harold Meacham. I can't remember the actor's name. I'm actually gonna bring him up real quick. His David Winham, because my roommate had told me he was from Lord of the Rings. He does a pretty good job as Harold Meacham, just being the dad that like you thought he was dead and you realize he's not. I really did not like Ward, and who's played by Tom Pelfrey. Plays Ward, the
Pelfrey.
I don't like him because I'm gonna discriminate. I don't like him because his name is Ward, and I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I don't trust anyone in real life whose names are Grant or Ward, or Grant Ward to be exact. If your name is Grant and or Ward, I don't trust you automatically. I have red flags all over my head the entire time, because whether I don't know if you're gonna kill me or my dog, you might get if you're gonna catch these hands. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and basically when it comes to the distinguished part is as in between, you can just say Ward, he's more half brain and half muscle. But when you come across Madame Gao, oh my gosh,
Madame Gao coming back. Yeah,
she plays with your mind.
The fact that Madame Gao coming back for the show was pretty good, but that's because of the fact that Iron Fist it sets up what's gonna happen in Defenders, because Defenders likely or not are gonna be dealing with the Hand, because season two of Daredevil introduced the Hand. Iron Fist tells you what the Hand is if Styx or Whole Origin didn't already do it, which I think for me, I think that's where we'll get into some of the issues about the show. for starters, and I'm gonna hit this right out the bat. I don't think that Finn Jones was a right choice for Iron Fist, and it's not because of the fact that he's Asian, and this is where I'm gonna get into it. A lot of people were really pissed about Iron Fist not being Asian and stuff like that, and I'm like,
I mean that's Hollywood for you. They're gonna always whitewash a lot of animated movies and comics.
yeah, but yes, and I think but the problem is with that is, where's there to whitewash? Iron Fist is white in the actual comic book. Now I can see if it was Ultimate Iron Fist, or if they did take a role of Immortal Iron Fist and tell the story of other Iron Fists, because that's what I initially thought the show was gonna be. Because there's so much lore that goes into Iron Fist's character. Because you can either go with the origin story, or you can go with the Immortal Iron Fist, and they actually touch about that. They touch on that with when Bakuto brings him to the Hands hideout and stuff like that. That there's more than one Iron Fist. You are not the only Iron Fist You're not the only person to don the mantle of Iron Fist. And when I'm like, okay, cool, so they do touch on the Immortal Iron Fist story arc as well. I kind of wish that they went into that detail, but that's a different story. But my point is that I understand that we need more Asian actors in Hollywood, but I'll be damned if you are gonna like talk crap about my favorite character. I honestly wouldn't have cared if Iron Fist was white or Asian. He could have been black, because Iron Fist was black in the comic book at one point, because Luke Cage took his mantle when he went into hiding. Okay, either way, I was gonna watch it because Iron Fist is my favorite character. I don't care. You catch these black golden hands if that's the case. Okay. But
I honestly think Donnie Yen would play a great Iron Fist.
Donnie Yen would have been amazing as Iron Fist. I mean, the dude doesn't even look old, so hell yeah, why not? But I don't think that Finn Jones was cut out to be Iron Fist, because again, I expect and because of the fact that the editing when it came to some of the fight scenes earlier in the season, they're really clunky. It was like, am I watching a Netflix show, or am I watching Arrow on CW? Like, why is there so much? This show was so heavily edited when it came to fight scenes. Like, did y'all not, like, whoever did the choreography, I'm like, did you not watch Daredevil? Did you see how clean that editing was? That was smooth. That was smooth as jet. Dude, that's smoother than Sade's Millie Rock on any block type of smooth, fam. Like, I'm like, what kind of crap is this? Like, I understand that Finn Jones is not a professional fighter or anything like that, but Jesus Christ, man, why couldn't you, like, it hurt my head. It really hurt my head watching the earlier fight scenes. It wasn't until when he had to fight members of the Hand, like when he was going through like Madame Gao's like combat tower to get to the dude's daughter and stuff. That's like, okay, that's a little better. That's better, but it's better than the first 5 episodes of him fighting, because that was pretty bad to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And honestly, last time I checked, Iron Fist had some pretty good gains. Like, I understand. Look, maybe I'm biased, but I need an Iron Fist. I need an Iron Fist with meat on his bones.
Should I go there?
Well, yes, go ahead, go there.
You might be mad at me if I say this.
Go ahead, say it. Say it. Say it, Sway.
Basically, the gains that should have been on him now is like compared to the gains that should have been on Goku and Dragon Ball Evolution.
Thank you. That's all. Okay, no, you're right. Don't get me wrong. We ain't supposed to be talking about Dragon Ball Evolution. That movie doesn't exist. But I understand what you mean. But the problem is, I'm like, look, I'm not saying that you need to make Iron Fist all bulked up or anything like that. I'm not talking about him being some cornbread fed brother walking sideways through doors. I'm talking like, give me an Iron Fist with like lean gains, like George St. Pierre gains, or like Tom Holland gains from Spider-Man. Like, and that's why I think that Iron Fist, honestly, initially, when Iron Fist was first talked about the being in like on a film or a television show, they wanted Ray Park to play Iron Fist. Ray Park was the guy who played Darth Maul in Star Wars: Phantom Menace, and Toad from the X-Men movie, and Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. You could have got Ray Park, and Ray Park, it looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, he looks a little gruffed up, but still. Or you, and I've said this on multiple occasions. I would have petitioned for this. Why didn't you get Scott Adkins to play Iron Fist?
Oh wow!
Like I honestly think Scott Adkins, Scott Adkins is he's a good actor. He's a pretty good actor, but he's a good martial artist. He does all his stunts and all his choreography. And hell, he even got a chance to be in Doctor Strange. You could have gotten Scott Adkins to play Iron Fist.
I think he was busy filming Undisputed 4.
Okay, but Undisputed 4 is direct to video. You can easily stop production. And dude, if Marvel is like, hey, stop everything you're doing. We need you for a movie. You stop everything you're doing, because that's Marvel money, baby. That's Marvel money, okay? You gonna put your kids, you gonna put your great grandkids through college with Marvel money, okay? And Scott Adkins, Scott Adkins is like what? I think like 38, 39. He could have easily taken the mantle of Iron Fist, and it would have made the fight choreography so much better. They could, and if you wanted to go with an Asian actor, you could have got that dude from Ninja Assassin. Don't be wrong, I don't like Ninja Assassin, but he could have been a better choice. You could have got that dude from the Green Hornet, the guy who plays his sidekick. You could have got him to be Iron Fist. Like, give me an Iron Fist with gains, man. I need gains. I need lean martial arts gains, homie. And they killed that for me.
Wow.
Well, and then also, and my major problem about the show, aside from those are just nitpicks. Aside from that, my biggest complaint about the show is the writing. And the reason why I say that is, like I said that originally Finn Jones did well with the stuff he was given, because I don't know what Marvel was doing. I think they were Scrooge McDucking the entire time, knowing the fact that they had Netflix in their hands at this point, because again, this show, it feels as if they got the writers from Arrow or Supergirl to write the show. And if anyone who watches superhero shows knows, CW's alright, but you're not expecting CW levels of writing for a Netflix show. Because most of the dialogue was just so poor. Like, it was so cringeworthy the first few episodes, especially episode 1 and episode 2, which, and I'm gonna go right into that part. I feel as if the first 3 episodes should have been one long episode. Why'd you need to split it into 3 episodes? GC?
Yeah, I'm here.
I was to say, like, you get what I mean, though, right? Like, what were your okay? Here's I'll hold back on some of my other problems. Like, what were your problems? And we'll talk about the ending in a minute.
Well, just basically what the direction of the story that was just basically heading. Just right after the fight scenes, just as there's certain moments where you could easily just take out certain people in the scenes, but just as in you basically just holding back. But at the same time, just like I understand, and it kind of reminded me of where Daredevil series, season 1, where he's basically trying to learn himself and learn basically who he is as Iron Fist, and basically he's basically just trying to tap in and basically learn day by day. But it's just as in just certain moments where you can basically move forward and take out certain people or whatever, but you choose and refuse not to. But I don't know.
I think with that, but here's the thing. The difference between Daredevil season 1 and Iron Fist is the fact that Daredevil was already a superhero. We knew from the first 2 minutes of the show, or first 3-4 minutes of the show, that this is what he was doing, everything like that. But Iron Fist is like, Iron Fist, Danny Rand is in the mountains for what, 13, 14 years? Like, you mean to tell me, like, what made you decide? My whole, oh god, okay. My whole thing is this, like, I don't even get into that part. I think another thing is the first few episodes, like, after once they got rid of the whole, oh, he's a rich kid and this is his company, I think that's when it got better, because the first few episodes of the show, again, are kind of painful to watch because it's rich kid problems. Like, I'm not rich. I don't know what it's like to eat gourmet food like that costs thousands of dollars, cheap ones like $500, but it's still good food. I'm like, I don't know what rich people go through. Okay, I don't care about what rich people go through. Okay, you're rich. If you're unhappy, buy something.
Like, that's gonna solve it.
and the whole thing with Ward and Joy, and like their dialogue is so painful to listen to in the first few episodes, because all it is what are we gonna do with our company? What are we gonna, like, who, like, girl, look, did you figure it out? Okay, I can't, he can't answer it. He's all drugged up and taking medication and stuff like that. It's like,
Ward was just going through a lot. Just the most painful part of just winning the acceptance from his dad, and he's been trying to do that since he was a kid.
Okay, and I actually do like that dynamic, but I will say, it's like, am I watching a superhero show or am I watching freaking Mad Men? Like, I'm not watching Mad Men. I'm watching Iron Fist. I'm expecting mofos to just get taken down one by one. Don't get me wrong. Again, I understand that you have to give us this insight on what's going on with Danny and everything like that. We do not need 3 episodes. Just make it one long episode. Like, a good example would be Firefly. The first episode of Firefly is 2 hours long because it sets up the universe of Firefly. With Iron Fist, you have 3 episodes of which we're dealing with rich kid problems, and other than that, you could have made the first 3 episodes one giant episode. You could have made that a mini movie and then go into the hand and stuff like that. And I feel as if when Rosario Dawson was brought into the show early, because they realized we're focusing way too much on this rich kid and rich boy problems, so we need to bring in some fun. So the moment Rosario Dawson came in, I was fine with it. Also, the whole dynamic of, like, switching members of the hand, like, you had Gao, then you had Bakuto, and then you had Meacham. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. But, like, where is this gonna go? Like, I feel as if with Daredevil, when they introduced the hand, they should have went into detail on a little bit more about Gao and Bakuto. Like, honestly, when Stick came back, I was honestly expecting Gao to come back as well. I understand that they put Gao in Iron Fist because, again, when it comes to the hand is the sworn enemy to Iron Fist. Like that's who he deals with. Iron Fist and Daredevil deal with the hand on a daily basis in the comic book.
Yeah.
So I understand why they had to do that. And I feel as if it wasn't for the supporting cast, if it wasn't for Colleen, if it wasn't for Rosario Dawson and Davos when he comes into the show, I think Davos is played by I'm looking it up, by Sacha Duhuan, and without and Jessica Henwick plays Colleen Wei. Without the supporting cast and Joy's dialogue and stuff like that, it gets better. Again, I think the first 5 episodes, after the first 5 episodes, that's when it gets better. I think the writing gets it gets better. It takes a while. If you can hang through all the clunky dialogue, then you should be fine with the show and stuff. And then you want to talk about the ending because you were confused about it, right?
Yeah, just as in just leading up to the supporting characters, just as in you have Ward, through the whole entire time, who knows this family secret that only him and his father knows, and just in the process of just going along with it, it's just as in it seems like a certain purpose that he's trying to fulfill of basically winning his father's love and his acceptance, just to realize like, hey, I'm your son and this and this and everything. But in the process of throughout the series, you see that, his dad is basically using them to fulfill a certain area of purpose concerning the hand, also with Iron Fist as well. And just as when Joy comes in, she's just a complete train wreck, full of emotions. Especially when it comes to the company.
Does it make me a horrible person to laugh at Joy's pain? This poor innocent girl who honestly, when Danny comes in, she gets humble and because rich people at one point got to be humble because they were like, oh my god, we're effing up the entire universe. Okay, we gotta stop right now. I felt bad for her, but at the same time I laughed. So I'm like, you brought this on yourself the moment you drugged Danny. The moment you drugged him, you brought this on yourself. And if she had died, I honestly would have been okay with it. Cause I'm like, you had it coming. You had it coming, girl. But I laughed so hard. Whenever she's crying, I'm like, yeah, that's right, cry. Yeah, your tears are so sweet. Yeah.
And also with that part is like what it confuses me is just as in when she first realized, okay, like I said, this stranger comes in his office saying like, hey, I'm Danny Rand. And in her mind, she already accepted the fact that Danny died along with his family in the plane crash. And just when it comes to the part where I think it was a teacup that he made, where like his fingerprint and everything, like basically when she comes to the realization.
That made no sense. Jeez, that made no sense.
Once it came to the realization that wow, that is Danny. Her acting, the actress who played Joy was Jessica Stroop. Her acting was basically spot on, basically targeting that emotions of wow, like he was telling the truth, that's really Danny, versus of her realizing the truth that her dad is still alive. Harold, who's played by David Wenham. It kind of confuses me. It just seems like she has more emotions towards Danny than her actual father, when she basically been lied to all her life that her dad died from this sickness, and come to find out that he's still alive and my brother knew about it.
And for those y'all, in case y'all don't know, Jessica Stroop, the girl who plays Joy Meacham in the show, she was also in the final season of The Following on Fox. She played Max Hardy. She was Kevin Bacon's niece in the show. But yeah, continue. It's like I say that because The Following is one of my favorite shows on Fox. It's probably one of the only good shows I've watched as of late from Fox. But continue.
Okay, yeah, just her character in general, and just anybody, it's just so much that a person could take, through emotions, just as in you basically living a normal life running a company and this burden falls into your lap, as in that your special someone that you grew up with comes back into your life and then realizes the truth of your father's, like basically emotions running back and forth. And especially where confusion comes in, where you don't know what to believe or who to believe, because this person's saying this and this person's saying that. Like, this person is bad, this person is good. So it's like, which direction do I turn? Which leads towards the ending where I'm confused, as in, the backstory and the whole info of the hand, and what's the situation that got your father caught up in the first
I actually think it makes sense, and you're not seeing the bigger picture. But real quick, we'll explain what happens at the end of the show. Danny pretty much has finally gotten his hands on, pun intended, on the hand. Davos AWOL because Davos is a jealous dude, because he wanted to be the Iron Fist and protect Kung Lun, and they chose Danny, and he feels as if he abandoned them because in the comic book, Davos is one of the main supervillains in Iron Fist. He's actually named, and I can't remember off the top of my head, the Steel Serpent, who fights for the hand. But and so after that, in the final episode, after like Harold thanks Danny and stuff like that for saving Joy and realizing Ward is nothing but a piece of trash, the DEA breaks into Colleen's dojo and tries to take Danny in, and then you find out that Harold really isn't all that cracked out to be. He's been plotting and planning to use Danny to take back the Rand Industries for himself, and then you find out that he made a deal with the Hand to kill, because he wanted to kill Danny's father,
which is his business partner.
And make it look like an accident, so he can survive his cancers and then take over the company and everything like that. And then next thing you know, they fight. Well, Danny finds us out. Danny goes like bat crap crazy. He then frames him for the heroin being smuggled in from the Hand and everything like that. Rosario Dawson's like, look, we'll help you get the evidence and stuff like that, but you cannot kill him, because he finds out that he finds out from Madame Gao that Harold killed his family, and again, he goes bat crap crazy about this, and they're talking about like, you can't kill him because it's gonna corrupt your chi and X, Y, and Z. And at the end, he takes out, he goes into Rand Industries, fights all the guards out, and then beats Harold, doesn't kill him, and gets his chi back. And Harold tries to kill him, but when he tries to shoot, Danny blocks the bullet that's gonna hit Colleen with his fist. His fist glows and ricochets back into Harold, and then Ward goes in and shoots him and stuff like that, and he falls to his death. They cremated his body. Ward and Danny are now in charge of Rand Industries. Joy, finding out about like how Harold killed Danny's parents, she goes into hiding, and she doesn't trust Ward because Ward almost got her killed by accident and all that stuff. Danny goes back to Kung Lun so he can explain why he left, and Kung Lun has disappeared. And that's the end of the show. Oh, and then Davos gets Joy to side with him in the Hand.
And I also want to implement, there's also a character in the series named, who was called Jerry Hogarth. Oh my gosh, he is the backbone of the series, especially towards Danny, who is played by Carrie-Anne Moss, who is Trinity in the Matrix. Yeah, she is truly the backbone in this series.
She was also in she was also a main character in Jessica Jones, and she made a special guest appearance in season 2 of Daredevil when Foggy joins Hogarth's what was the Hogarth's farm and stuff like that. If you guys haven't yet, please watch Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is an amazing show. Very trigger heavy. I'll tell you that right now. If anyone who suffers from something, it's very trigger heavy. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, Jerry Hogarth, she was pretty cool in the show. I wish they had used her a little bit more. But you said that the ending was confusing. I didn't see anything confusing about the ending.
I get it's not confusing, but at the same time it's confusing, just as in everything that you went through, everything that you experienced, and you know the truth of basically what happened to your father, and basically the truth behind the company, the truth about Danny's parents, including Danny himself, and the truth about the Hand that basically your dad sold himself out, with the Hand, basically just to go through this whole situation just to get the company back. And your dad basically pretty much died in the process because of the Hand, but yet he still sided with the Hand just to get back at Danny when Danny's
the one who saved your life, woman.
Exactly. And basically is trying to stop the Hand in the first place. But she basically got into a place in her life and her mindset where she feels that her whole family is destroyed because basically just as if, what I'm trying to say is her life was fine, just running the company with her brother and having a wonderful life. Things started going haywire until right after Danny showed up, where, her brother is going through this and everything with drug addictions. Her father passed, basically came back to life and
Died
passed
again, and they came back.
And came back to life and get passed again. And
It's only an episode of Doctor Who.
and it seems like you put that blame on Danny, like he has something to do with it. Like he just wrecked your perfect little life, where it was basically the hand that basically did all that in the first place.
I honestly, again, how do I say this without sounding sexist? It's white girl problems. It's white girl problems.
But here's why I understand. This is why I say when it comes to Madame Gal, because she the type of woman, she will mess with your mind. She'll make you believe, like it's like when you're a kid and you have, siblings in the house or whatever. Something happens or whatever, and you didn't do it, you in another room or whatever, and you knew that your sibling did it. But when it comes to mom and dad, she will make you believe that you did it when you know you didn't do it. She played those type of mind games to basically deceive and confuse you or whatever. So I think she kind of played the part in to basically use Davos to basically kind of manipulate her and to place the blame off the hand and more on Danny.
I honestly, dude, there's, oh my god, again, I have so much, I have a lot of mixed emotions about this show, because overall, again, I thought the show was alright. I honestly, if you want to know, I'm gonna say right now, I don't think the show deserves all the hate it got and all the controversy it got. I think it was a completely unnecessary, and people were just throwing caution to wind to like. It's one thing when you bring like Asian culture to America, like something like Ghost in the Shell, and you instead of casting someone who's Asian who could probably you get Scarlett Johansson, and then you rewrite the source material to fit in the movie,
or Death Note.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Death Note because Death Note makes no sense. We're getting off track. That's for another time. My whole thing is, you had it's one thing when it comes to Ghost in the Shell. The difference between Ghost in the Shell and Iron Fist is that Ghost in the Shell was a property made in Japan, and the fact that they didn't get someone who was Japanese or Asian descent, it didn't even matter if she was Japanese. You could have got a Chinese girl to play Makoto, and they got Scarlett Johansson. That's Hollywood can take an L for that. When it comes to Iron Fist, again, for me personally, I didn't care if Iron Fist was black, white, or Asian. If they got Michael Jai White to play Iron Fist, I've been okay with it. I mean, you have two brothers on screen, and at that point, Rosario Dawson has to choose which brother do I want. Do I want the tall brother, or do I want the medium large brother, or something like that? Like, which brother am I gonna take? I can.
And that's also a mystery too. When it comes to Claire, which dude is she gonna fall for?
Luke Cage, obviously. Luke Cage.
I mean, come on now, because she fell for Daredevil.
No. Hold on. Let me clear that up. She didn't fall for him at all. She thanked him in a sense of like serenity. Like you get like Indiana Jones when when Margaret kissed Indy's friend on the lips, and Indy didn't get pissed about it. It's out. Do it. Like, this is for your this is for your wife. This is for your son. This is for you. And like, okay, that's fine. Like, there made no sense. It made no sense for no, it didn't make sense. I meant it made complete sense about that. That made so much sense. Ridiculous. I'm talking. When it's like that with Daredevil and Claire, she did it for as Serenity. She kissed him as Serenity. Like, this is a thank you, okay? Luke Cage, everybody likes Luke Cage, okay? Everyone wants some Luke Cage. Women love Luke Cage in that show. Misty Knight got hell. He got some of Misty Knight. Misty Knight. I will say this: Misty Knight is the only girl I will say can rival Claire. I'll take Misty Knight before I take Claire. Okay. Like, Misty Knight can get that is bae. That is Bay right there, okay? But we know that Claire's with Luke, and she probably gonna die in Defenders. She gonna die in Defenders. I'll say that right now.
Sad.
But overall though, well, I honestly am waiting for Defenders now. I think we're done with the review, but before we wrap it up, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this show?
I give it 6.
I give it a 7. This is not the worst show. People really took this show way out of proportion when it originally came out. It has problems, and we forgot to talk about improvements. There's gonna be a season 2, obviously. For season 2, if there's one thing, the one thing I want them to fix in Iron Fist, they need a different writer, because I don't know whoever was the writer to this show must have been watching Arrow, or must have been one of the writers from an episode of Arrow or Flash that was bad. Like, the writing up until episode 6 is just bad. It is terrible dialogue. It is not terrible, it is very cringe-worthy dialogue. Like, you come off so much good dialogue from Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and then for Iron Fist, you drop the ball when it comes to dialogue. They try to do a lot more showing than telling. And I understand, you need to do more showing than telling, but when Iron Fist is doing the showing and is telling it at the same time, I'm like, bro, am I watching Iron Fist or am I watching Power Rangers? Like, I don't need you to tell me what you're doing, dude. Just do it. Just do it, okay? But so, like, I want the writing to be better, and for God's sakes, please get a better fight choreographer. Okay, like, it's too late to recast Iron Fist. Unless, the only way I can see them recasting Iron Fist is if they kill Danny Rand in the show, and they bring in the Immortal Iron Fist series, and you get Scott Adkins to be the new Iron Fist. I can see that happening, but they're not gonna kill Danny Rand because Danny Rand doesn't die in the comic book. So better acting and better choreography. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, and it was also one part I'm still confused where Bakuda was showing Danny Rand, like, you know, another Iron Fist that was before him that was slaying enemies.
Yeah, that's the immortal. That's what I said when they were doing nods to the Immortal Iron Fist series, because in the Immortal Iron Fist comic book series, they tell you that there was more than one Iron Fist. Like I said, Danny Rand's not the only Iron Fist. There have been at least 5 or 6 other Iron Fists. One of them served in World War I think. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the Immortal Iron Fist series, but I know that someone had served in the war at one point.
Oh wow, yeah.
But yeah, but you know, that's it, guys. Now we're on to Defenders. Claire's gonna die. I bet money on it, because they're gonna Phil Coulson Claire. If you guys don't know what the Phil Coulson is, that means she's gonna die to bring us to help bring the team together. That's all. I saw the trailer to Defenders, and I'm psyched for that. I am so psyched. Like, I cannot wait. Like, when Iron Fist punched Luke Cage, I'm like, oh! I want to know, because I'm pretty sure when Claire dies, that's when Luke and Jessica are gonna get together. Because in the comic books, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones have a baby. Hell, I want to see Misty Knight and Colleen get together, because in the comic books, Misty Knight and Colleen are a team together. So that's what I want to see. I want to see if the supporting cast is gonna play a role in this, because in Daredevil you have Foggy, Karen, Stick, and Elektra, and the Punisher, because he's probably gonna be in the show. He's probably gonna make an appearance. In Jessica Jones, you have Patsy, and then you have Jerry. In Luke Cage, you got Bamboo, Misty Knight, and we might see Mariah Lillard. I'm not Mariah at one point, maybe. And in Iron Fist, you have Colleen. And then as a whole, for all the shows, you have Gal, Hogarth, and Claire. and the ultimate mom herself, Sigourney Weaver. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. What about you, GC?
I'm excited as well.
Ready for that? You know what you should do? You should totally come over and we binge watch that show together.
I'll try.
It's only 6 episodes, likely.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
But other than that, guys, yes, that is our review for Iron Fist. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys are watching this on Twitch, I'm going to start doing the Guardians of the Galaxy review in a minute. If you're watching this on YouTube, that will be part 2. So check out part 2 in which I review Guardians of the Galaxy. If you guys liked the review, let us know in the comments, what did you think of Iron Fist. Again, overall, me and GC don't hate the show. We know it could have been a lot better if it wasn't for the bad writing that show had.
Yeah.
And the lackluster pace the first 5 episodes had. Other than that, let us know in the comments section below. And are you excited for Defenders? If so, let us know in the comments again. If you like the video, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up. Hit it with a thumbs down if you hate us because we enjoyed Iron Fist. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on YouTube. Also, please be sure to follow me if you want more, if you want other content other than movie reviews that I do, that me and GC do, and video games and stuff like that. Please be sure to follow at Rangers Live Chat on YouTube, where I talk all things Power Rangers. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So until then, guys, this is Reckless Fox, and God.
And
we're done. We're done. Stay tuned for part 2, guys. We'll see you soon. Until then, keep on wrecking things $20 less. Peace.